What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got another lovely pair of Digimon cards to be talking about. Maybe more, I don't know. But we're going to start off talking about Rise Greymon X Antibody, which has literally just been released as I record this, and this is one that looks very, very nice indeed. Now, what we've got here is an 8 cost to play normally, 4 cost to Digivolve, 8,000 power, which is expensive to Digivolve. Like 737 or 838 is what we expect from level 5s. 848, that's a bit much. But the good news is we've got a similar kind of thing here, which we see on a lot of the cards in this set, and that is that it can Digivolve from a Rise Greymon by paying just 1 memory. So look, you know the deal at this stage, we've talked about it. You take Rise Greymon, you pay 1 memory, you end up with this. You're turning a level 5 into a level 5, but you are still Digivolving, which means you get to draw a card. You're still taking advantage of any evolution skills, any inheritable skills, things of that nature. It's absolutely worth doing. And we've got a couple of Rise Greymon. Now, it is interesting to note this is a proper dual-colour Digimon. That is to say, it is yellow and red, and can Digivolve from either yellow or red. And we've got a couple of options. We've got the Rise Greymon from BT2, we've got the one from BT4, and we've got the one that came in Starter Deck 7. So the one from BT2, when you did, is yellow, but again, it doesn't matter which one you go for here. When you Digivolve, can play a yellow tamer from your hand without paying, although you don't get any when played effects. And as an inheritable skill, if you've got 3 or more yellow tamers, you get security attack +1. So this is clearly one of those situations where if you're playing enough yellow tamers, and that is clearly a pretty big if, you can take advantage here of extra security attack, and extra security attack is a good thing. And obviously if you're playing a bunch of yellow tamers, this can let you play them for free. Yay! We've then got the red Rise Greymon that came around in BT4, which is a rather lovely card here. And on your turn, it's also treated as a yellow Digimon, and it can Digivolve from yellow as well as red, but it's not a proper dual-colour Digimon. It's not a yellow Digimon in your hand, it's not a yellow Digimon in your trash, it's not a yellow Digimon in your breeding area. It is all but, and back in BT4, you know, this was as close as we got. It can evolve from either red or yellow, which is nice, and while it is in play in the battle area, it is counted as red and yellow. I suppose you could say that when it's in play, it is essentially a proper dual-colour Digimon, but do just bear in mind there are some reasons why it is different from some of the others. You have been warned. But you've then got Digiburst 2 that lets you trash any cast from your Digivolution cards to play a red or yellow tamer with a play cost of 4 or less without paying its memory cost. Incidentally, the 4 or less is future-proofing there. Even now that we've had a whole bunch of double tamers, you know, with 2 tamers on and all of that, we've still not seen anything above a 4-cost tamer. So this is nice. It basically lets you play a yellow or a red tamer for free. It's Rise Greymon. Rise Greymon is kind of a fan of playing tamers and having tamers, and using tamers, and this is what Rise Greymon does, okay? Now, the one from Starter Deck 7, I'm gonna be honest with you, this one is a bit rubbish. When you play it, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 power or less. It's a nice play skill, but it's a kind of play skill that, if you're able to actually play this using a skill, so you're playing this card for free and getting the play skill, yay! Otherwise, it's just disappointing. Certainly, I wouldn't play it over either of the others, because the others are way better. But you've seen, you know, if you want to Digivolve from Rise Greymon, you've got to have tamers. So, this new Rise Greymon is only going to interest us if it interacts with tamers, and the wonderful news is, it totally does! When Digivolving, you may play a red or yellow tamer from your hand without paying its memory cost. Okay. Basically exactly like we saw as the Digiburst skill in the one from BT4, which is quite nice. Then, if this Digimon has a card named Rise Greymon or X Antibody in its evolution sources, until the end of the turn, for each of your red or yellow tamers in play, one of your opponent's Digimon loses 2,000 power. Now, the way this is worded is quite important, but I think these are essentially different instances, i.e., if you've got 3 tamers in play, you don't have to do -6,000 to one Digimon, you could, or you could do -4 to one and 2 to another, or -2 to 3 different ones for argument's sake. And this is a nice skill. It's a very yellow skill, but I kind of like this. I do love, and I'm sorry, I know this shouldn't make me as happy as it does, but I really like the way that Digimon are being really good when they've got a dual colour Digimon, actually giving it dual colour skills. This is very clearly a yellow skill, and the one we're going to see in a moment is very clearly a red skill. So we're dropping a bunch of power, deleting weak Digimon, breaking power ties, bringing them down low enough that they can be deleted in other ways. This is all pretty good stuff. We like this. But then we get the skill, which is very much a red skill. For each tamer you have in play, this Digimon gains 1,000 power. Now, this is not an inheritable skill. This Digimon has no inheritable skills, so this is just going to work normally. Okay. And this is good. This is very, very good. If you're playing a bunch of tamers, which is pretty much a conclusion about Rise Greymon generally, honestly. But, you know, if you've Digivolved from Rise Greymon and you've got 3 yellow tamers, you get security attack +1, and you will get yourself an extra 3,000 power, putting you up to 11. Bearing in mind, 11,000 power is what we expect from a level 6. So at this stage, you're a level 5, but you're not really a level 5, you're basically a level 6. But you've gotten out a little more easily, you've still got lots of power, and you've still got your extra security attack, and basically there's lots of good things going on is where I'm going with this. It's a level 5 that's very much acting like a level 6. I mean, you're digivolving from a level 5, boosting up your power, getting extra security attack. It's basically a level 6 at this point. Now, it is worth pointing out the one from BT2, it's got to be yellow tamers. You can only play yellow tamers. You only get the extra security attack with yellow tamers. That's really important. Whereas the Rise Greymon from the red one, if you have a tamer in play, when you attack one of your opponent's Digimon loses 2,000 power, and it can play red or yellow cards. Obviously, there is a combo to be made here, because you've got that really nice skill that lets you play a red or yellow tamer when you Digivolve, and then drop power, and then you can attack and drop power again, and it works out quite nicely. I should mention the same thing I do in all these videos at the moment. When it says X antibody, it means the option card called X antibody, not a Digimon with X antibody in its name or one that's got the X antibody trait. That's quite important. So this is all sounding pretty good, and it combos beautifully with the existing Rise Greymon we've got. What about this option card? Well, this is going to look pretty relevant here as well. I mean, it's got Rise Greymon on the artwork. It's clearly working nicely here as well. And what we've got is a 5-cost option card. And when you play it, you may play a red or yellow tamer from your hand without paying its cost. And then until the end of the turn, for each of your red or yellow tamers in play, one of your opponent's Digimon loses 3,000 power. Now, as a security card, it does the same thing, which could get kind of annoying, because, of course, if you get this as a security card and you don't have a red or yellow tamer in hand, then you're basically not able to take advantage of this skill, and that's super annoying. But if timed properly, this could be really good. Now, it's a 5-cost card, but you're playing a tamer for free. So in reality, it's kind of like a 1 or 2-cost card. You're paying 1 or 2 more memory here than you would be if you were just playing the tamer. What do you get for that? You get to, for each of your tamers, lower one of your opponent's Digimon by 3,000, which is incidentally 1,000 more than you do on the evolution skill of Rise Greymon X Antibody, which is quite nice. But obviously, right, if you're playing a deck with a whole bunch of tamers, and you Digivolve up into Rise Greymon, and you play a tamer for free, and then you lower a whole bunch of power, and then you play this option card, and you play another tamer, and then you lower a whole bunch of power, this is going to add up very, very quickly indeed. And like so many of these cards that we're seeing lately in this set, it's very specific. The evolution skill on Rise Greymon X Antibody only fires if you've got a Rise Greymon or an X Antibody in your evolution sources. But honestly, it combos so nicely with Rise Greymon, you really should. And sure, this is a pair of cards which really relies on you having a bunch of tamers, and if you don't have a bunch of tamers, this isn't really going to work. but that's probably no more than we see on a whole bunch of other Digimon, so honestly, I like this. You've got to be playing other Rise Greymon, that's very important, and you've really got to be playing around with Tamers, that's really important, but if you're doing all of that stuff, this is extremely cool, ladies and gentlemen, and I could be tempted to have a bit of a play with this one. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.